So before working with Futurebound, when it came to the mortgage and stuff like that, we kind of thought of it as like something that was just kind of happening in the background. Like we knew we had a length of time to pay it off, and we just thought that's just how long it's going to take to pay off. Like we didn't even consider that you could pay it off faster. Or, it seems kind of silly now, but we didn't consider that there's a lot of interest to pay the longer you take to pay it off. And by paying it off faster, you don't just pay it off faster, you actually pay off less because of less interest. Mm-hmm. And this was all stuff that was pretty, like it sounds silly talking about it now because it's so obvious, but we just never really thought about it.
So yeah, I agree with all those points. Also, we didn't really think about how our money could work for us. It was just going to pay the mortgage over the set time.
I think we thought that we would pay off our house by the time we retired. We just assumed that that's when we would have paid our house off, not realizing that we can pay it off earlier and get into investment. Did we consider investment? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't really something we even had on our radar. It was just, let's just work our jobs, pay off our mortgage and see what happens. After working for Futurebound, we had a plan so we could actually see when we're going to pay off our mortgage, how fast we can pay off our mortgage, how we can use that to benefit our lives in the future as well in terms of investment and stuff like that. We didn't really...
I think our money had more purpose. We knew what we wanted it to do for us rather than just spending leftovers. We knew what we wanted to do with it, and now it's working in our favour.
Yeah, exactly. Like if we had spare money before, we would just think, oh, let's just spend that spare money. Like we don't have a goal for that money. Whereas now it's like, hey, we've got this goal, we want to pay off this mortgage faster, let's use that money to pay it off faster. And because of that, it hasn't made much difference to us. It's like money that we didn't really care what happened to anyway before.
Yeah, it hasn't affected our lifestyle, like nothing's changed about the way we live day to day, but it just means that we're going to pay our mortgage off so much quicker.
Yeah. It's made us more disciplined, eh? When it came to, say, buying takeaways, for example. That was our big thing, I think, was paying takeaways. This changed our lives in terms of takeaways, which is good for us as well. But it's changed the way we spend our money. So, for example, we might spend a lot of money on food before, and we spend less on food, but it's on better food and still good quality food. It's not like we're starving ourselves or anything. We still have just as much food as we had before. It's just not bad food. We're more disciplined.
Yeah, much more disciplined in spending.
Yeah, and that's stuff we didn't really think about before we did this course. All of the little things were picked up from the course, like that we do in the group sessions and the course material. It's just helped us. It's just increased our knowledge of stuff in general. So if someone was considering working with Futurebound, I'd say give it a shot, because there's a lot of information that you can find online and stuff like that. But Futurebound just gives you their pathway and their motivation and their plan to follow. Sometimes when you've got a lot of info, you're not really sure what to do with it. Whereas when we did the Futurebound course, it kind of really narrowed down our focus and gave us, hey, if you do this, this, and this is what you achieve.
Yeah.
Whereas we would have been a bit lost without that. We would have not really known which direction to take. So that was a really good thing about taking on this course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say go for it. You've got nothing to lose there. It just gives you really clear ways of working with your money, so that the option of paying off your mortgage is before retirement becomes really realistic and achievable, and I guess essentially will change our lives for the better.